but I don't care. Like, bring it.
Yeah.
Or the other day, she did it with her brother, actually. And she's also very annoyed with like having a little brother. And so she likes to tell people she's an only child. But then I caught her like doing selfies with him and putting those like little filters on it with the glasses and stuff.
Fun.
And it was so cute. So I know it's in there.
Yeah.
And I hope, I'm trying to have faith that at some point we will have a relationship. And I'm also like, I look back at how my relationship with my mother would have died like in heaven if I could call her at least once a week. I didn't. And she had that relationship with her mother and I didn't. And I think, oh my gosh, I feel the same way. Like, I hope there's a point in which my daughter wants to be a part of
you daughters
my life.
And mothers.
And
so it's really,
it's a thing.
That's like one of my kind of
I hear
you're such a dude.
Bigger fears becoming a parent and not having my mother around is trying to accurately convey the relationship that her and I had and like be like, she was important and she's relevant to you even though she's not here.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, I know. I think that's like one of my biggest
I will give you advice
concerns
on that. Show all the pictures and just tell stories. Like every time there's a story, every time your child does something that reminds you of either something you did or if you have a sibling, your sibling did, or that your mother did, just tell that story. You don't even have to be like, you don't have to do it in a way in which you're trying to teach a lesson or trying to like, just, I remember one time my mom and I did this or whatever. I think that is the way to do it. It's like, just all you have to do is just keep talking about it. And she will grow, your child will grow to be like, oh, and my grandmother did this, and and not even know her. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't.
Crap. I'm doing a terrible job.
I'm sure you're doing great.
No. But I lost my father in 2010, which my son was born a few months after. And I haven't done enough to.
It's hard.
Yeah. Anyway,
all
you were
stuff
saying.
you have to do.
Oh, no, I was just going to talk on the half sibling front. I have a half sister. She's 8 years and 1 day younger than me. And we grew up in separate homes because she lived with her mom full time. I lived with my mom full time. And so younger, we didn't have a super strong relationship. But when I actually went away to college, her and I became really, really close. And we are still very, very close to this day. And so that will come.
Yeah. God, I hope so.
Oh, so you're setting an example for another human.
Yes. Yeah.
I know.
I was.
Bourbon.
Yeah. Actually, I was the first person to get her drunk.
All right.
Hey,
When she
there's
came
no
to
shame
visit
in
me
that.
in college.
I remember,
college.
I'm going to give a shout out to my half brother who we were drinking George Killian Red. I was probably 13. He was probably 18 in an old beat up truck. And we were drinking on Santa Rosa Avenue.
Nice.
Yeah. Cruising.
Were you cruising? I was just going to ask,
front of
were
the
you
JC.
cruising?
Cruising. Is the definition of cruising just that you go back and forth on the same place over and over?
Over and over and over.
At not like a fast speed. You're going like
You're cruising.
You're cruising. You're going like maybe
You're cruising.
30-ish.
He had like a 56 Ford truck and it had this perfect little space to hide beer bottles.
And you were 13.
I was 13 drinking beer. Yeah, with my brother. It was the greatest thing in the world.
I used to cruise Mendo when I was, 18 because that's like the only thing you could do back.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mendocino. Yeah,
Mendo,
I said Santa Rosa Avenue. That's where the
because it eventually turns into it.
Yeah, and all that.
Yeah.
You're not that old.
You guys had Swenson's
We had
here?
a Swenson's. Yeah.
There was two Swensons. There was
was?
one downtown and one on Mendocino. Yeah.
The old Mercado across from 3rd Street Aleworks was a Swenson's, and what now is the like music rock store.
Yeah.
Or it's been a variety of things over the last like
Todd Roger, 3rd Street Aleworks. Is he still around? It's been a long time.
3rd Street Aleworks is owned by a new handful of folks. Just recently. I think bought it last year.
Okay.
She literally knows everything.
I know she
about
knows
everything.
everybody. I'm an old Santa Rosan, and then my wife and I compromised when we met. She lived in Petaluma, I lived in Santa Rosa, so I moved to Petaluma.
That's his favorite.
That's
story.
a fun compromise.
Yeah.
That's his super favorite
lost.
story.
Wah, wah.
I think you should tell that story on every episode. Oh wait, you do.
Ouch. Okay. Wah, wah.
I love you, Phil. You know
Yes,
that.
I know.
But yeah, and then that other Swenson's. Actually, Swenson's on 3rd is the place my grandmother and I used to go after every movie. That's
The UA5.
yeah.
You have great memories of your family.
That's awesome.
I mean, I was born and raised here. I'm a 4th generation Sonoma Countian. I've left and come back a handful of times.
Don't you love it?
Always come back.
It's so good.
Every time I'm like, I'm just breaking out and going someplace else. I'm going to do, and I'm like, I get there and I'm like, well, yeah, this is great, but.
Okay. So I've just had this very bizarre experience. So 2 weeks ago, I was in New York. Mm-hmm. Before that, if you would have asked me, I would have been like, Petaluma, Sonoma County, this is my forever. I don't know. I mean, like, it would have been my half year forever place where Mexico would be the other half year.
Yeah.
But still same pace. Like, Sayulita. It's the same pace, I guess, the same vibe that I'm looking for, regardless of whether it's here or in Mexico. But, and so then I go to New York and I had this bizarre experience when I came back. I had an amazing trip. All of the stuff happened, and more. It was 10x what I thought it was going to be. I got back here. And I didn't expect this, but I literally felt like I hit a brick wall in like energetically, and not because I was exhausted, but not that. It was like, suddenly I was this dog that was trying to run and somebody was holding the leash. Right. And it was like, oh my God, I have all this stuff. I want to do it. 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 And then Sonoma County was like,
let me put my walls back around you.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Explain it better.
I had a hard time. I really had a hard time for coming back. Yesterday, the day before probably was the first day where I was like, okay, it's not going to be so bad. But I felt like I was in mourning. I literally felt like I wanted to cry because I was like, what just happened? I thought this was my place. And now I come back and I feel like I don't fit in. I feel like it's too slow. I feel like I literally felt like I was shriveling up like a raisin.
You know what you should do? You should bring some of that New York here.
I don't think that'll work.
Can you do that?
I think that's part of it, right? So New York, Manhattan specifically, because upstate is not the same. Right?
Upstate.
That's true.
Not even close. I mean, the energy there is on another level. And what people are trying to like create there and accomplish there, it is go, 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 forever and ever. And so I could totally imagine coming back and almost like a letdown a little bit and taking some time to get back to that same place, but at a different like velocity, so to speak.
Velocity is a great word.
Yeah.
Great word.
Because I don't think it's impossible to still accomplish all of those dreams and ideas, and
it's just going to take 3 times longer.
It's just going to take a little bit longer because we're that much farther away from San Francisco, Well,
it's not like Hawaii.
I can appreciate where we are, and there's so many amazing things and reasons why being slower is actually better and healthier, in my opinion. But I did realize that, kind of back to the earlier conversation about 2020 and me crushing it and saving it for the rest of the world. I just have so many great things that are like in front of me, and I want to do them all. And I want to, it's not that I want to get through each task to get, but I do, because they're leading to really great things. And
that my God, can I keep it real?
In a minute.
Okay.
That can happen much faster. And like the shit that I accomplished in 1 week in New York would have taken me 6 weeks to do here. Because everybody is frenetic and everybody's like, yeah, let's do that. And like,
there's a density
too. Decisions being made all the time.
Right.
I don't know.
When you got back, you said you were freaking exhausted.
I was exhausted. I was like,
just keeping it real.
And that's fair. That's totally fair. I think back to every other moment in my life in which I've had let down. It's managing the expectations, right?
Right.
Now I know, because I'm going back in 3.5 weeks.
Ooh.
Now I know.
That's news.
That maybe the day before I get on the plane, I have to like reel it in and be like, okay, take a few naps.
Yeah.
Right.
And also
get your exercise in, eat well.
Yeah. And like, just realize it's just going to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe it won't be. I was literally like gobsmacked at how raisiny I felt.
Well, did it suck some life out of you?
Within Sonoma County, like in the whole grape theme.
I think so.
Yeah, we don't do raisins.
No, we don't.
No, we drink the grapes.
So I used to commute into San Francisco and into Oakland for many, many years. Well, so after college, I lived in the city and was there for about 6.5 years before I like slowly progressed back up 101. And it was, moving out of the city was really different. And even just like the simplest of sleeping, I got used to sleeping to garbage trucks and sirens and that kind of stuff. And then I moved to Marin County and it was like crickets. And I was like, what's that noise?
That nothing is deafening.
There's no cars and I don't understand what's happening. And then, again, like moving back up to Sonoma County. And when I moved back up to Sonoma County after my divorce, I was here for about 1.5 years before I was like, I have to leave.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, I need to know that I can do it again, that I can leave and be on my own and be okay and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of I found a job opportunity. I packed my bags and moved to San Diego. And
nice.
Oh, San Diego.
And I was in San Diego for 1 year and it was the exact year that I needed it to be. But I also, in that year, I lost my grandfather, a girlfriend of mine lost her husband. My mom was in the beginning of becoming ill. And I knew long term I wanted my roots here. Like this was where I could see myself raising a family, having a family. And I also knew that if I stayed in San Diego, I was going to wake up at like 45 doing the same thing because I was watching.
Oh, that's horrifying to me.
That's
my worst nightmare.
That's a mental death to Danielle. Yeah.
I remember being in the Safeway, like, going grocery shopping and like, here's the dude who's like clearly 45 hitting on the college chicks. And I'm like, I have to leave.
Get me out.
I was like, and it's just so easy to get stuck in kind of like that beach life, that scene, that like go to work, go out, go to work, go out, go to the beach.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's more to life than this.
Yeah.
And so I figured out how to get back. I got a food startup job and I moved back.
Oh my God. So you were talking about, I have to play this for you. Garbage truck. I've fallen asleep to garbage trucks. Listen to this.
Am I feeding this in?
You are.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I hear birds.
And cars.
Listen to the bird.
Okay. This is really dragging on. This is painful to me.
This is what life is like in my house in the morning. That was this morning. I got out and I was like, this is not New York.
I was waiting for the garbage truck.
And I honestly, as much as I've been struggling with it, I did appreciate that moment in which I walked outside. And I'm so glad that you noticed that there was traffic in the background because it was like, I'm in Pleasantville and I've got my big old trees and there's the bird, but in the background, there's just like hum of 101 like in the background. So,
I mean, and I think what I love most, like I've had lots of opportunities to travel and live other places and all it's really done and taught me is to appreciate Sonoma County.
God, I love Sonoma County.
I mean,
I feel bad about myself. I like it so much.
Why? If you love it.
I know.
It's a really great place. I personally think it's a great place to be from. It has a lot of unique characteristics in regards to its like location, like its physical location. It's nice to be near San Francisco, but not in it. But also it took some time to get used to not being in it. And then you get there and that's that.
Oh, I've always said if I could live anywhere on the planet, it'd be like Healdsburg. Dry Creek Valley.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think this place sucks by any means.
Right.
Like I can really appreciate it. But yes, I think where
it's
I'm at
apples
right
and
now
oranges.
is like
big apples.
I can find a way to be bi-coastal.
You gotta do both.
And I will say, I'm going to kind of take a step backwards from last week because Phil and I did this wrap up from New York and I was like, I'm going to go there like 1 week out of the month. And now what I've realized is I've been back.
That's insane.
I know. So I've been back 2 weeks and I just booked my next trip, which I said is like 3, it might be 4 weeks, but even that feels really soon. So now like teachable moment here. It's not going to be every month. It could be Quarterly, exactly. Because just the idea now is like, I'm happy that I've got that solved. And like now I've got 3 or 4 weeks to like bust ass here and get ready. And
can we talk about the event here or we're not talking about that?
Well, I don't
it's too early.
Yeah, it is a little too early, but it's great that Lindsay is a part of this. She will be a part of this conversation moving forward because I'll tease it out there in that while I was in New York, I was able to connect with some people, and I pitched an idea. And so because of that trip, we'll be bringing a really big event here to Sonoma County, to Keller Street Co-work. And it's going to be